If you build it, they won't come. No, they'll still come. Construction began on 8 different border wall prototype designs on Otay Mesa on Tuesday. Contractors now have 30 days to complete their walls. 4 of the prototypes will be concrete, while the other 4 will be made of various materials. All of the walls will be between 18 to 30 feet high and 30 feet long. 6 contractors from around the country were picked to build the prototypes. Their bids range from $300,000 to $500,000. The border wall project is underway despite lack of congressional funding. Estimates for the cost of the border wall have ranged up to $38 billion. The Department of Homeland Security is planning to pay for the prototypes with internal funds taken from other programs. Are you a huge border fan? Then keep watching.
Companies send in bids for the wall. Plans for the construction of the new U.S. border wall are making serious progress. Up to 450 businesses have put in bids to construct a wall along the U.S. border with Mexico. These bids include plans for solar panels on the wall, mesh wire fencing, and also a hyperloop. According to the San Diego Union-Tribune, the Department of Homeland Security will narrow the submissions down to 20 by June 1st. After that, the companies will be asked to build prototypes on federal land. The DHS wants a 9.4-meter tall wall made of either solid concrete or with a viewing portion. It's estimated to cost at least $20 billion or much more. Sophisticated super drug tunnel found on U.S.-Mexico border. A massive state-of-the-art tunnel used to smuggle drugs between Mexico and the U.S. was discovered by authorities during a raid, federal officials announced on Wednesday. The tunnel connecting warehouses in Otay Mesa near San Diego and Tijuana in Mexico was discovered on Wednesday following simultaneous raids on both sides of the border. Officials said the tunnel was about 30 feet deep and around 2,400 feet long and featured lighting, a ventilation system, and rail tracks for transportation of the drugs. While pulleys were believed to be used by the smugglers for loading and unloading on the U.S. side of the tunnel, according to police. The bust came after a 6-month operation by Homeland Security's ICE that saw undercover agents arrange to provide drivers for the smugglers. 16 people were arrested in Mexico and 6 were detained in the U.S., while a total of 12 tons of marijuana was recovered. Mexican police said that 2 of the suspects told them they were working for a drug cartel operating in the state of Jalisco, a reference to the Jalisco New Generation that is linked to the cartel of Joaquim El Chapo Guzman, who escaped from a maximum security prison in July. 30 people detained at cross-border smuggling tunnel. Trump's proposed border wall might not do a lot of good if people are making their way into the country underground. A cross-border smuggling tunnel was found near the Otay Mesa port of entry in California. The tunnel reportedly begins in a building on Calle Marbermejo in Tijuana. Border agents were patrolling in the area on early Saturday morning when they saw a large number of men and women on the street who fled when the agents approached them. Some reportedly tried to climb back into the tunnel, leading the agents to the discovery. A total of 30 people have been detained. 23 were Chinese nationals, 7 were Mexicans. Customs and Border Patrol officials told NBC News that there has been an increase in nationals from countries other than Mexico trying to enter the U.S. illegally in the past 2 years. Illegal entry spikes at Texas border. Migrants trying to get into the U.S. are doing so in droves recently. One Border Patrol veteran said it's because they're worried Trump will start building his wall once he's sworn into office in January. Recent months have seen an increase in the number of people caught illegally crossing into Texas from Mexico, from 37,000 in August to more than 46,000 in October. Detention facilities that used to see a maximum of 34,000 individuals are now holding 41,000, most of them families and unaccompanied children. The flood of illegal immigrants has led U.S. Customs and Border Patrol to send an extra 150 agents from Arizona and Texas to processing centers near the border. These agents will be screening and classifying the undocumented migrants, in effect freeing up local agents to focus on border security. A similar surge occurred on the South Texas border in 2014 after migrants escaped Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador to seek refuge in the U.S.